For those of you who don't know, we're the fundamentals.
All right.
Not them over there. We are.
But with Garoppolo, this team is a better team, and the fantasy options for him are viable now. I mean, Deebo Samuel, you go back to last year, he was the 3rd overall receiver. He's on track to do that this year, and Brandon Ayuk becomes a valuable target now because he can actually do something with Garoppolo throwing in the ball.
So you think they're a good team? I mean, hey, how good of a team?
I think they're wild card right now. I had them just missing the playoffs before the season, but right now I think they're in a wild card situation.
Okay, I'm split. I'm not going to say they're a lost team. I'm not going to say they found their stride. I don't know. They did lose to the Bears, but it was week 1.
Mm-hmm.
Things weird happened in the first week of the season. They have the 2nd-ranked defense. Their interior defensive tackles and the outside corners I don't trust. Kinlaw, Armstead, they're not good defensive linemen. And, Mosley and Ward are average at best. So the 2nd-ranked defense, I think that's going to fall maybe even out of the top 10 by the end of the season. I don't trust the center. They get up the middle pressure. Garoppolo's not good up the middle pressure. Their schedule is the Broncos, the Rams, the Panthers, the Falcons, the Chiefs, the Rams, the Chargers, the Cardinals. They have a tough schedule.
They do, but they have a shot.
I don't like Jeff Wilson. He looks slow.
Well, that wasn't the running back that they were supposed to have, but every single running back on that roster has been injured. I believe they're going to trade for a running back. Who? I don't know, but they're going to need to get somebody because they are running out of people.
My boy's there now. Marlon Mack. He's gonna if he gets a chance. If he gets a chance.
He's done.
All right. I just don't know about the Niners. I'm not saying they're super team, and I'm not going to say that they're a bad team. I don't know how to evaluate them yet. I do like Garoppolo. I'll bring up a team for you. Carolina Panthers. Now, a lot of people, they didn't necessarily think them as a powerhouse team.
Mm-mm.
But they're the worst-ranked team in the NFL. Did you see that coming?
I did not, no.
Their 29th ranked offense. And that brings me to a point. Maybe Matt Rule's college system just don't work in the NFL. I mean, we've had plenty of time to come to this conclusion. It's not like this is just a random thing.
Plenty of time, different people operating the system.
Yes.
It just hasn't quite worked out.
They do have the 15th ranked defense. I think their defense is struggling because their offense is so bad. They're on the field all the time. I don't think the Panthers are the worst team in the league with a 5% is what the Vegas is giving them to make the playoffs.
It's a little bit better than that just because the 0-2 start.
So I don't think they're that bad, but they're not good. And that brings me, I'm going to go right into the lost and found quarterbacks. You know who's lost? Baker Mayfield. Akeem Akawana. I think that's his name because I can pronunciate stuff like that. The left tackle. He's ranked 66th best tackle in the league. He's the left tackle, or arguably the most important position on the field besides quarterback. And Baker Mayfield has been getting rushed. He's not looked good.
He hasn't, not through the first 2 weeks.
And there's a lot of things. You can say it's a new system. You can say Baker's no good. You can say Matt Rule's system doesn't work. I don't know what the case is, but that team is lost right now. I got another one for you. What about Russell Wilson?
That's an interesting one. He hasn't quite played well through the first 2 weeks, but then again, the coaching has been pretty bad. But they're at least able to recognize it and try to assess it in some way. This week, they hired Jerry Rossbury as the senior assistant to help them coach on game day and prep in the week to be ready for situations. So they're trying.
Yeah, the team is too good for arguably the best player on it to struggle. Yeah. And my first thought is he got paid, but he got paid last time as well. So I don't think for Russell Wilson he was just trying to get paid.
No,
I think he's actually trying to win. Now I think the same thing when Aaron Rodgers had a new coach and he just told everybody to relax. I think there's going to take time for them to get on the same page. Yeah. I don't know how long that's going to take.
Yeah,
it's a new team, it's a new system. That brings me to his predecessor over at Seahawks, Gino Smith. I don't know what to think of him. Now, I said he was good. He came out and he had a hell of a game. And then he came out and was average. It looked like he was scared. He was playing too safe. Like he didn't want to blow his opportunity because everybody was just taken back by that week 1 performance. And now he just doesn't want to lose it. And if he continues to play like that, he's as good as gone. He needs to keep playing like he did week 1 and just have nothing to lose, lights out all season. That team's not winning a Super Bowl.
No,
He doesn't need to be safe.
Yeah, he needs to go out there and just take shots where he can on the field. But, I mean, I think they just struggled as a whole team against San Francisco because they came out of the gate and just completely beat them.
All right, Tua. He's number 1 in yards and tied for first in touchdowns. He looks decisive and has a big arm. He's got Tyreek Hill.
I mean, yeah, he definitely went for it all, and he did great the first 2 weeks, but that's the thing. It's only 2 weeks.
Yeah, but Waddle's elite. We all know that.
Yeah,
Tyreek Hill is elite. We
Yeah.
all know that. I mean, he's got weapons.
He does. He doesn't have any excuse. It's just a matter if he can do this week in and week out, because if he starts to get inconsistent where, 2-3 weeks he's down and then he's back up again, that's not going to work.
I fully believe in Tua.
I don't. I'm still skeptical.
I fully believe in Tua. I've seen enough. He put his head down. He went to work, and he looks decisive. Now, as far as I can tell, he doesn't have a hand-me-down playbook. Some of these quarterbacks will look good early in their career because they have one-read options. They have no choices to make. They're just timing routes. It looks like he has a pretty wide-open range. But that brings me to the next quarterback. I don't like this quarterback. And when he had success, I was the one saying he wasn't very good. Then he proceeded to have several consecutive years of not being very good. And now I'm telling you, I'm a believer. I'm a believer. Yes. And maybe it took him. Maybe I would say he's a late bloomer. But he had potential. He just never did anything with it. And I didn't like his mannerisms. I didn't like the way he was going about just life, the way he was being a quarterback. And I didn't believe in him. He's second in yards, and he's the guy he's tied with Tua for touchdowns. And this is Carson Wentz.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a believer. He found himself.
This is his home?
This is his home.
Washington. I mean, time will tell. I love Wentz. I think he is a good quarterback, but I kind of gave up on him after the Colts because I kind of had to at that point. And he's done this before where he's had good weeks, but he just, throughout the season, he just falls on his face.
Yeah, he's doing it without relying on a number 1 receiver. He's thrown to 7 different wide receivers.
He has, but he still has good receivers.
Yeah, but arguably the best one is Terry.
Yeah.
And Scary Terry is not holding down the fort. He's just another option. And that's why I like Carson. He's giving the ball to whoever is open. He's not playing favorites. He's definitely diagnosing the defense pre-snap. He's going through his progressions. I've been saying up to this point, I don't like Wentz. I think he's a bad quarterback. And I just started getting credit for being right. And now I'm immediately flipping and saying I like him now. And no one wants to believe in him. And I'm telling you, I think Wentz finally found himself. I got one for you. Now, I'm a little bit of a homer here because I like the Jets, and they're terrible. But every once in a while, you see little sparkles. And Garrett Wilson, I saw some sparkles. I like what I see. He passes the eye test. But I think the quarterback play and his hands are a little rough. He's only got 50% catch rate, and that scares me. So I don't know about Garrett Wilson. I want to say he's going to be a great wide receiver. But I think you throw him the ball 50 times and he catches half of them, he's going to have okay stats. When he does good, he does good. But there's a lot he does bad that we don't see in the highlight reel. So I just wanted your opinion as a non-biased Jets hater.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about Garrett Wilson? Do you think he's...
No.
Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. What about Drake London then?
Yes.
I think he found his footing really quick. Yeah. 13 catches out of 18 targets. That's a good catch rate, right? 160 yards. He's a diamond in the rough. The quarterback and the team will make him better because they're going to be down a lot. However, Mariota has a 117.8 quarterback rating when targeting Drake. I think he's just throwing the ball every play.
You know who's the real deal?
Who?
Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Yeah.
I mean,
I've seen enough.
Oh, yeah. I mean, ever since last year, he hasn't stopped from the last 6 games last year until right now. He's still on a tear.
Yeah, he's 5th in targets. 2 rushes, 68 yards. He's on the Lions, and I thought that was a problem going into the season. But he looks good on the Lions.
Well, going into the season, you felt that I was really high on the Lions. I had them winning 9 games.
Yeah, I didn't think the Lions were that good of a team.
You think I'm high on them still?
I think you're about right. I think I was just too hard on the Lions.
I mean, yeah. I mean, and if you go back to Amon-Ra, he was the 21st wide receiver this year. I think he easily finishes top 12 at the end of the season.
I liked Armand St. Brown in college. I just didn't think he would translate. He was too small. But he's tough as nails.
He is. He takes hit. And then you look at him, he can run the ball too. He had a 53, 58-yard run.
It does scare me running with him, but he is good at it. 2 rushes for 68 yards. Yeah, I think Armand is. He definitely found his home.
He had 5 touchdowns last year. He already has 3 this year.
All right, let's move on to running backs.
All right, I got 2 for you. Ezekiel Elliott, Tony Pollard. Now,
Get lost and found.
I mean, yeah, one of them's lost, and I think Pollard's the one getting found right now because Zeke has been pretty bad the first couple of weeks. I mean, they have played the Bengals, who are an okay run team, but the Bucs are pretty good at run stopping, and they did stop him. He was 10 for 52, which, I mean, 5.2, yeah, but he didn't do anything special. He had 2 catches for -3 yards. That's pretty bad. I mean, I'm a better receiver on him through the first 2 weeks of the season. He's -4 yards on the season receiving. I'll sign a contract. But I mean, Tony Pollard, he's definitely getting the receiving work. He has 9 targets to Zeke's 4, and his attempts are not quite as much, but he's getting more than half of his attempts, and he also has about the same amount of snaps.
Yeah, I've been saying for a couple of years, I think Pollard should have been the guy. They just paid so much money to Zeke, and now it's starting to be abundantly clear that Zeke, technically, my metrics that I'm following, he is better than Pollard, but barely. I got a 4.2 yard per attempt versus a 3.4 yard per attempt. That's the biggest margin. Outside of that, it's less than a third yard after contact. And I mean, Pollard can catch. Zeke's not been catching. So where's this extra, $50 million coming from?
Yeah, well, not only that, you say the Cowboys have only had 1 rush attempt inside the 20-yard line this entire year, and that one went to Tony Pollard for a touchdown.
Yeah, I did see that. So I agree. I think Zeke's kind of lost, and Pollard's finally finding his footing. I got one for you. Mm-hmm. I don't know about Robinson. Now, you mentioned you liked Robinson. He's got a 3.35 yard after contact. He's got 3 rushes over 10 yards. He's solid, but not amazing. I think he should be the bell cow, but I don't know if he ever will be. I think they just don't like him, and I don't know why.
I think they like Robinson more than ETN. I think Robinson is the workhorse there. He's going to get more of the workload. I don't think this is a 1A, 1B situation. I think James Robinson is the RB1 and then ETN is the backup. He does get some of the passing work, but I mean, Robinson can still catch, and he's just a better playmaker and a better blocker, which is what they really need because their line is terrible.
Let's talk about your Lions. This is my last found player who, moving forward, is going to be an elite running back. He's only got 20 carries on the season. Mm-hmm. 6 of those 20 have been over 10 yards. Yeah, only 20 yards per season. He's got 200 yards and a touchdown. That's 10 yards per attempt average. Those are college stats. Those aren't NFL stats. He's got 5 of 8 catches for 62 yards. He's getting 5.35 yards after contact. That's absurd. Feed this monster, but even if they don't, he's top 5. The new Lion King, Swift.
Swift. I mean, if he can stay healthy, yeah, but he's already battling injuries with his ankle. He had played through it last week. I mean, didn't really affect him, but he was limited in his attempts. He only had 5 attempts, but he did have 2 catches, whereas really he shined right there with his catch.
Tua Tagovailoa. Tagovailoa.
Tua
what is it?
Tua Tagovailoa.
Tua Tagovailoa. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Tua Tagovailoa. All right. Tua.
Who's that?
I'm getting my game face on.
Game face on? You know who's got the game face on?
You can't go because then we have to add all that other shit. You gotta start a fresh line. Come on, let's end strong. We got about 40 minutes of nonsense I gotta edit out of this.
Well, it's not my fault you turned the camera on fucking 20 minutes before we fucking actually started recording.
All right, let's go.
No, I found.
Well, you didn't find him, the whole world did.
Yeah, what am I talking about him? He's like a no-brainer. That's fucking ridiculous.
Is he the real deal?
Yes.
But then talk about it.
Okay. You know who's the real deal?
Who?
Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Ooh, yeah.
You know who's the real deal as well?
Who?
Detroit Lions.
That's fine. I just didn't know you were going that way. It was really fucking weird, and you were like threatening when you said it. Okay, go, no, proceed. No, it was good. I just was kind of afraid of you.
It's terrible.
You were pissed.